Hi, I'm Meg and I run HR Download. As it's Mental Health Awareness Week, I really am wanting to add some really good content for you to support you as leaders in creating resilience in your teams, i.e. for your people. So I'll break this down, I think, into a few different bits, but effectively you need to, from a first point of view for your team, you need to have 3 factors that help individuals create resilience, according to the Harvard Business Review, and I'll read them out here, and I think they're really useful ones actually. So the first is high levels of confidence in their own ability. So knowing that they are capable, but them knowing they are capable, not you knowing that they're capable, but them knowing they're capable is really important for their level of resilience. Having disciplined routines for their work. Now that is something that's been flipped up in the air if they're having to now work from home because their environment's changed, and somebody who previously was very disciplined may well not be in that same space now. So as a leader, you want to check that they've re-put those structures in place to help them to be able to have that, because that gives them extra resilience, which helps their performance. And a social and family support, that's the 3rd pillar. So those 3 pillars to help them are high levels of confidence in their work ability, a disciplined working routine, and good levels of family and social support. Now, for those people that are socially isolated and on their own, living on their own at the moment, it's quite possibly important that you step up the pace from a contact perspective so that you can help them to create more strong connections in the workplace to get great resilience from a social perspective as well. So as a leader, I'm hoping that you know those sorts of things about your team, but if you don't, just start asking those questions, checking them out, and don't be afraid to say, I'm asking because I really want the best for you. I want you to feel great at work, and to do that is to create good resilience for yourself, and these are 3 simple ways that we can help you to do that. So that's the first stage. So for the next bit really is about fostering resilience, resilient conversations. The next stage is about how do you elevate that? So as a leader, you know what you're checking for now, but how do you actually create that? What does that look like? So there's loads of research now that's showing the most important and effective way to increase resilience at work is through individual coaching. So if you are a manager that is talking and explaining and telling your people what to do, you're diminishing resilience of your team, because they're becoming more and more reliant on you. You're almost like a recipe book. If you're coaching them, i.e. you're instead, what you're choosing to do is saying, this is the vision, this is where we're going to. Talk to me about your ideas within your role of how you'll help us realise that vision. And you pause. You're now enabling further resilience for them to have, because they feel empowered. They know that their opinion matters to you. They're thinking creatively with you. You're building trust with them as you learn to quieten down how you would do it and be mature enough to truly listen to how they would do it. And they're building knowledge as you help them course correct. So you're listening to what they're thinking and you're saying, well, have you thought about this bit? Oh no, I didn't. Okay, well, what does that mean? What should I do then? And then you can support them in that, because you can say, well, actually, I completely get where you're coming from, but I'm worried about this. Do you think that will feature, or am I overly concerned? And then you're testing then again. They either have thought about it and they're like, no, I think actually there's this way, you've not thought of this bit, and there's this way that we could work with that. And they're in control, so they're in their thinking brain, they're really engaging with you and your organisation. But more importantly than that, those 3 ways that I talked about before about building resilience. One is about them being confident in their skill in their role by having coaching-led leadership conversations rather than an explanation of what they need to do and they go and do it very compliantly. You're building their knowledge of their own internal skill and their confidence, and therefore you're contributing to elevating their ability in there, so they know that. So you're creating resilience, which is great. So the other thing you need to do as a leader to create resilience within your conversation is about asking them. So ask the questions. Don't be afraid to talk to them about. One of those things was about the social, that they needed social to feel like they're connected as part of a team or as part of a group, a social group, a family, etc. That's really, we're a pack animal at the end of the day. That's so valuable and important. So as a leader, you need, in these COVID-19 times, or if you're watching afterwards and this is about virtual leadership anyway, you need to be leaning into those discussions and asking them what they can do about it to make differences and changes that will help them. What you're doing there is you're showing that you care. So you're starting to enter into a positive space with your person. You're gaining trust because you're talking about them, you care about them as a person, and you're supporting them. You know, you've not put your face down into a lack of reality. You're helping them out of a challenging space, especially for those of us that are having to be on our own through this period. That's really tough. And the other thing is, to help you as a leader to increase resilience within your organisation, is to find positive learning experiences and opportunities for your people. And I do not mean I don't want to do this, so I'm going to pretend it's a wonderful learning experience and I'm going to give it to you without proper delegation, without proper support, and I'm just going to go, oh, thank God that crappy job is off my desk, as we see so often, and we've fallen into it. I know some of us will be like, oh God, yeah, I've done that before. That doesn't help, but being able to find true learning opportunities that help with that vision that we talked about before, about actually this is where we want to get to as an organisation, this is how our team fits into that kind of visionary space. What about your role? Help me understand that. Within that, if there's something that you both think, actually this would be really good to let you run with that, you know, that would be the next step in your journey. Again, what you're showing is trust. What you're showing is a true knowledge of where they are, and therefore that's helping them connect to, actually, I can do this role, I'm quite good, and their confidence is coming up. And it really helps to gain a sense of belonging, which is so very important within a team as well. So I'm contributing to a mission that's bigger and more important than myself. And again, that learning opportunity, if you can connect all of that and just see that, then that's brilliant. There's a great book actually called Cubicles of Leadership by Robert J. Thomas, and he describes it in a lovely way. And I'd really recommend, if you've not read it, just having a look through that. So in summary, really, that the resilient teams around us see these issues as an opportunity to come together as a team, to connect the team really nicely. They're not afraid to have the tricky conversations and ask people, how are you doing? They're not afraid to lead as a leader and talk to their people properly and honestly and just openly about what's going on with them. And they intentionally think and seek out opportunities to enable their individual team member to gain more understanding of their capability, which gives them confidence. They're not uncomfortable to give them feedback around, this is where you are, you're doing really, really well, and I can give you more as a result of that. They seek out learning opportunities that truly, truly helps the individual as well as the organisation. So they think truly from both parts. And there's nothing wrong, by the way, with it helping the organisation. Indeed, if it doesn't, there's no point to the learning journey. It doesn't connect, so that's not a good thing either. So those are the sorts of things that leaders, and as a leader, you can be thinking about and contributing to for your team at the moment. And I would hugely recommend that you look into how to implement those things for your team. I'm Meg and I run HR Download, and I work really hard with my leaders to help them create just fun places to work and be around.